Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. Hi guys. How you doing? I know it's been a minute. Let me update you guys. A little bit of a life update before we dive into my fall TBR. This summer, I feel I did not post. I didn't post at all this summer. It's so crazy. It's literally fall already. It's about to be October and I need to get my shit together, and this is the first video I wanted to put out because I do have some videos pre-filmed that I just never got to editing, so you guys will be seeing those too. You'll see those after this video. So this is current me. This is the little life update. So at the beginning of summer, essentially I had a family friend stay over at my place literally all summer. So because I had this family friend staying with me, I felt like I had to devote a lot of my energy to them and host them and, you know, just be there for them and show them around where I live and help them like have the best vacation essentially since they're here. And because we basically kind of did all that in summer, I figured I can't keep letting that postpone me from filming and uploading and talking to you guys, because I have literally missed you guys so much. I feel like I have been reading so much, that especially audiobooks, which I will get into that in a little bit, but I just haven't been vlogging and talking to you guys and showing you guys my life, and I feel like a lot has happened, and there's been like moments that I wish I could have taken you guys along with me, and it just never works out. So because of that, I feel like my filming and content creating got put on the back burner. But now that we've kind of done everything that we could possibly do, and now it's more like daily life routine, I can start incorporating this filming and content creating back into my life and not feel like kind of guilty about it. With that being said, I feel like that's why I haven't really been content creating. And then secondly, I started my new job in like towards the end of July as well. So because of that, my routine completely shifted. I work 7 to 5. There's been a lot of overtime right now. The job that I have, we are very busy. I'm working literally like 8.5 hours to 10 hours sometimes, from 8 to 5, 7 to 5, sometimes even 6. It's been a lot. So imagine like I don't have a morning routine set, which is something that I'm also kind of working on. But besides the point, I don't have a morning routine. So I wake up, I get ready for work, I pack my lunch, all of those things. I go to work, I'm out of work, I'm exhausted. And I don't have time to read. I only have time to do things like around my home. I have time to do like run errands, but by the time I finish all of that, it's like 7 o'clock. The sun already goes down at like 7:30. My whole day is gone. You know what I mean? So I haven't had time because of my new job. And that's just because also of lack of routine. Also having a family friend staying over with me. So because of those two factors, that is why I have been gone for so long and I haven't been posting. And I figured I owed you guys an explanation, because I feel like I'm very inconsistent, but I feel like this is the longest that I've been inconsistent, and it was throughout the whole summer, and I just feel so bad and I missed you guys so much, and I've missed filming so much. I feel like it's so sad because I just missed you guys. I miss talking about books. I feel like I've read so many books and I've had so many thoughts and nobody to talk to about them. And so yeah, that's why I've been gone, and I'm trying to get back on routine. So I'm hoping in the month of October I hit you guys with some good videos and videos that you guys enjoy. Definitely have to start working on my morning routine and working on my night routine so I can start filming and editing for you guys and just kind of get back into the role of things. I'm excited to be back. Again, I feel like I've said it so many times. I've missed you guys. I miss talking to you guys. So I figured for this life update, I would also include my fall TBR, because another thing that I have been trying to do is organize my bookshelf, read more of my physical TBR. Let's backtrack to audiobooks. Again, because I have gone back to work, my new job actually lets me listen to music, podcasts, and audiobooks. So I have been reading essentially more of my books through audio, and I really appreciated that, because if I didn't have audiobooks or I couldn't listen to things at work, then I would literally not be able to read as much as I do. I essentially can listen to a book a day. I don't do that because I feel like I would get exhausted. I have to switch it up with podcasts and music, but my reading count like monthly really hasn't gone down because of audiobooks. So I have found just this new appreciation for them, and they really just be saving my life, and they have been making reading my physical TBR faster, because a lot of the books that I have on my physical TBR, I'll look at them up on my Libby, and I also have AnyPlay, and that's how I will be listening to my audiobook. I do also have Audible, but I only get 1 credit a month, and I try to make that credit count. So I've really been using Libby and AnyPlay as much as I can, and they have so many options. So definitely cut down a little bit on my physical TBR. And it's so crazy because I know I'm talking a lot. It's so crazy because I've read so many books on my physical TBR through audio, and it's crazy, but it's also sad that I've listened to them, and most of the time I give them 3 stars or like 4 stars, and it's like a book that I'll never reread, so I don't want to keep it. And that's what I'm in here for. I am tired of buying so many books. Listen, I'm not tired of buying so many books, but I need to be stopped. I need to be stopped because I buy so many books. And you know what? Buying books and reading books are 2 different hobbies. I'm okay with that. At the same time, I want to read the books that I have. 1, I'm running out of space. 2, most of these books, again, like I'm telling you guys, I need to read them to know if I love them, to keep them. Does that make sense? Like, I want to only have bookshelves filled with 5-star reads or 4-star reads, 4.5-star reads, books that I will reread and that I love, and there are just a feeling, you know what I mean? That's another goal that I have, and I have been doing while being gone. I still have a ways to go, like a ways. Another thing that I did, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have my Goodreads linked down below, but on my Goodreads for my want to read list, I have added every physical book that I own that I have not read. Those are all only physical books that I own, and that's excluding my historicals, and it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. I'm a little bit ashamed, but at the same time I'm not, because I'm just a book reader. Like, I love books. They make me happy. I realized how large that number was, and even then also, they're not even the complete series. Like, if I have a series, if I own the entire series and I haven't read it yet, I only added the first book. So there's definitely more on my physical TBR because of that. I'm just working through it. That's what I'm doing. That is my goal for the end of the year, and it's 100% gonna drag into 2025. That's basically essentially what I've been up to. Let me stop rambling and just talking about random things. I feel like I just haven't talked to you guys in so long, so I have so much to say. But let's jump into my fall TBR. I know we're about to enter October. I have an entirely different October TBR, but my fall TBR kind of will drag into October, because how many spooky books can I really read in October? Obviously, fantasy falls into the fall time for me. I feel like that is the prime time for me to read it, and it just feels right. But fall is like, what, 3 months? So I don't have a lot of fantasy on my TBR, because fantasy kind of encompasses all of fall for me. Like, I'll be reading fantasy in September, October, and November, so even in December. So I didn't want to have to like show you guys every fantasy book that I have on my TBR, because we would be here forever. These are more of my September, November kind of fall vibe type of books, and I'm gonna try not to say fall vibes a lot in this video, okay? But bear with me. I have 2 stacks with different books that I want to get to, so let's get right into it. First one being Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a dark academia book. This says, the mesmerizing adult debut by Leigh Bardugo, a tale of power, privilege, dark magic, and murder among the Ivy League elite. So it's dark academia. It has a mystery in there, dark magic, everything that fall entails for me. This has been a book on my TBR. I mean, a lot of these books have been on my TBR for a really long time, so I definitely want to get to them. I have to go through my entire fall TBR stack and kind of see what my Libby has, what my Anyplay has, because I'll most likely be listening to a lot of these. But I also want to make time to actually sit down and read a book physically as well, because I am missing doing that. So there's that one. Then I have My Roommate is a Vampire by Jenna Levine. This one just gives me September vibes, even though I only have a couple days. Anyways, I'll probably be reading this in October, but it gives me that transition vibe from summer to September, October, because it looks cutesy, right? Like, it's a cutesy little book, but it's vampires and it's a romance. Then I have Scythe by Neil Shusterman. This book, hold on, my leg fell asleep. This is like a dystopian book, and I just love those. Again, those give me September, November vibes. It says, a world with no hunger, no disease, no war, no misery. Humanity has conquered all those things and has even conquered death. Now Scythes are the only ones who can end life, and they are commanded to do so in order to keep the size of the population under control. I've just heard so many great things about this, and I'm excited to get to it. Then we have this one that I have started, and I just never finished it. This is The Wrath and the Dawn. I believe I was hybrid reading this physically and also listening to the audiobook for this, and I just kind of want to get back to this and actually finish it. I softy DNF'd it just because I tried reading this, I don't even know, like in the springtime, and it just wasn't giving, but definitely want to pick this back up. Then we have Anatomy, a love story by Sana Schwartz, or is that an L? I don't know, but this is about a woman doctor in the old times, a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. Hazel Sinnett is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry. Jack courier is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. Literally a gothic tale full of mystery and romance. What more could you want? And we have some Olivia Blake on my fall TBR because Olivia Blake gives me fall spooky vibes. I own literally almost all of her books and I have yet to read one, and this is Alone with You in the Ether. This one is giving me more of a fall vibe. This is a romance, but it's kind of, I feel like it's more like of a poetic romance. Like it's like a deeper romance, you know what I mean? It gives me soft vibes. True love is just a matter of time. Alone with You in the Ether is a contemporary love story like no other, exploring the nature of love, what it means to be unwell, and how to face the fractures of ourselves and still love as we are not broken. Love. Okay. Then we have One for My Enemy. This is another Olivia Blake one that I have on my TBR. And just look at this cover. It's just so stunning. This one is a modern day Manhattan where we lay our scene. Two rival witch families fight to maintain control of their respective criminal empires. And I know there's a little sprinkle of romance in here. I really want to get to Olivia Blake. I feel like Olivia Blake is one that I will want to read physically instead of listening to. And it's just beautiful. Like rival families. And like there's a dagger. I just know it's gonna be good. Then we have Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This one is very interesting. It says on the back, on the second Sabbath of 12th moon in the city of Weep, a girl fell from the sky. Her skin was blue, her blood was red. But essentially it's about a librarian and he like goes into this world to find something. And I've heard that Laini Taylor's writing is really beautiful and just amazing, and I really want to get to this book especially because I've heard nothing but amazing things. Then we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Listen, this has been on my TBR for so long, I'm not gonna lie to you. In Glittering Shanghai, a monster awakens. This one is, the year is 1926 and Shanghai hums to the tune of debauchery. A blood feud between two gangs runs the streets red, numbing the city to its chaos. See? This I need to get to because I have like all of the books, and on the paperback of one of them it has that character art. I believe I showed you guys that in some vlog. If you haven't seen it, that is going to be a future vlog after this video. But the art, the sprinkle of romance in here, the enemies to lovers, yeah. Then there's this one. This one is on my TBR because it's dark academia. This is an Education and Malice by S.T. Gibson. Sumptuous and mesmerizing, an Education and Malice is a delicious dark academia tale of blood, secrets, and insatiable hungers. Yeah, that's all I need to know. The back says, one of us was always going to bleed for the other. Yes. Then of course, Divine Rivals. I need to read this. What is this? It's like a historical romance YA. When two young rival journalists find love through a magical connection, they must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. Yep. I need to get into my fantasy bag. I need to. I just follow this time. Follows the time for me, okay? Gothicana, of course, a tale of dark romance. I have so many copies of this book and I have yet to read it. I don't even know if I like it and I have so many copies of it. Like this is something that needs to be stopped. You know what I mean? So I have to read it to know whether I'm putting it on my Pango or not. And I'm keeping all the editions that I own. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Unusual girl, an enigmatic man, an ancient castle. What could go wrong? Again, just dark academia vibes all around. Vad Devrel, the silver-eyed devil of Varenmore, the dark god who played like it was both a blessing and a curse. Her multifaceted, enigmatic, one-time lover who knew the secrets of her soul. He'd found her. Stop it right now. Then this one's interesting. This one's a little frightening for me, but I just heard so many things, so many good things about this book and just how eye-opening it is and just how interesting and profound, and it just has all of the dark academia vibes. And this is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I think this is the one that I want to be my first R.F. Kuang read. I kind of want to read this physically instead of listening to the audiobook, but I might do a hybrid of both. Yeah, this is just called an arcane novel. It's like dark academia. It says, a historical fantasy epic that grapples with student revolutions, colonial resistance, and the use of language and translation as a dominating tool of the British Empire. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal. It sounds interesting. Then we have a few romances here. We have A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. This is angst, okay? This is right person, wrong time. And I have been putting this off for so long because I know that it's going to break my heart. I know it's going to make me angry. And it's just like a right person just missing that connection, but feeling all the feels that they are meant to be and missing each other. You know what I mean? So I've just been putting this off for too long. This has to be read this year. Then we have Daisy Jones and the Six. Daisy Jones and the Six has been on my TBR for so long, even before the TV show came out, okay? I kind of think that I'm going to be listening to this on audio because I've heard that it's just an amazing audiobook, and I have listened to it a little bit before, but I also kind of want to hybrid read it because there's just so many people talking because it's an interview format. But even the cover, it's giving fall vibes, and I need to get to it. Another author that I own all of her books, this is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I need to get to it. I need to see what her writing is about because every time I see her books out in the store, every time she drops a new book, I'm the first in line to get it, and I haven't yet to read her books, so it just doesn't make sense to me. So I have to finally read her books, and I feel like this is a good September, November read. It's essentially a love story. She falls in love with a ghost. So yeah, I think her books are just really interesting, and if this book doesn't scream fall to you, I don't know what other book will. This is You Again by Kate Goldbeck. Honestly, I'm kind of scared for this one. I'm thinking of reading this through audiobook. I have been reading a lot of traditionally published romance through my library and Anyplay. I have found that they're very mid. Like, I haven't really found a traditionally published author. I mean, I guess except Ali Hazelwood, but she was indie first. I haven't really found a traditionally published author that her romance books makes me feel some type of way. I mean, I guess also except Abby Jimenez, but you know what, I have. But the ones that I have been reading lately, the ones that have been like super popular and coming out, I just haven't really loved. They've been like mostly 3 stars. Like, I enjoy the read, but I will never pick them back up. And I feel like I have a feeling that this might be one of those books. So yeah, again, I also have to be really selective with the books that I'm buying, but that is on my TBR. Honestly, I have no idea what it's about. Can they stop hating each other long enough to fall in love? I don't know. I'll have to read it to find out. Another book that gives me September, November vibes, Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. This is just a cutesy little fantasy in Regency, England. It's difficult to find a husband in Regency, England when you're a young lady with only half a soul. Again, Katie from Katie is Reading. She loves this book, and I've heard nothing but praise, so I really want to get to this, and I've heard the romance is really, really sweet in this one, so definitely want to get to that. Some small town romances that I have on here. I have Off to the Races by Elsie Silver. This is a small town romance, cowboy romance. This is her first series that she ever came out with, but now has been picked up by a publisher. I read the entirety of the Chestnut Spring series, but I want to go back and read this one, and it's small town. Small town gives me November, September vibes, so this one is on my TBR. Because I need to get back into my Elsie Silver bag too, because I feel like after the Chestnut Springs series, I just haven't read anything else by her in a long time, like a really long time. Another one, All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. I own almost every single one of Mariana Zapata's books. She is the slow burn queen, as I have been told, and I have heard, but I have yet to read any of her books. I'm kind of scared to read all of her books because if I don't like it, then I own so many of them. It's like, why did I do that? But this one is like, I mean, literally look at it. It's giving fall. She goes to this house, she meets this grumpy old man. It's giving hiking, it's giving fall, it's giving trees. So I feel like that one is a lot of people's favorite, and it would be kind of like a good one to start with. Then we have On the Way to You by Candy Steiner. This one I liked because the colors of the book just give me fall, but other than that, it's like a road trip romance. It says, "What makes you happy?" ? That was the question Emery Reed asked me the day we met, and I couldn't give him a single answer. I could have said my dog or my books or yoga, but I just stared. And then I got in his car. It was crazy to take a road trip with a stranger, but after years of standing still, he was my one-way ticket to a new life, and I wasn't going to miss it. And it's giving road trip. Road trips in the fall, just imagine all that scenery. Yes. Another Taylor Jenkins read that I want to get to, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. You just know this is on my TBR. Then, of course, we have Normal People by Sally Rooney. This I need to read so I can watch the TV show. Again, with, what was the other one that I need to read to watch the TV show? Like, there was a book in here that, the Daisy Jones and the Six. I need to read that to watch the TV show. I recently read Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. I read it all. 3 stars. I don't want to talk about it. Now I'm more inclined to watch the TV show. So a lot of these books have TV shows, and I feel like I need to read the book first, obviously. I recently also read, Where the Crawdads Sing, and there's a movie or TV show of that as well, so I need to get to it. Literally, books turning into TV shows is adding more work for me, okay? But I'm excited. Again, let's get back to Normal People. This is a lot of people's favorite. I'm scared to read it. There are no quotation marks, so who knows when they'll be talking, but we'll see how well I thrive on that. I'll probably be reading this physically also because I feel like I'll get more out of it that way. I just know this is gonna break my heart. It's gonna break my heart, but I feel like I'm ready for that, you know? A little bit of paranormal. We have Wolf Song. This one is not on my October TBR because, I mean, look at it. It doesn't give me October spooky paranormal. It gives me more September, November paranormal. And it is also an MM romance. And I have been dying. Not my light dying. Why? Do I have another one? I do, but is it charged? We'll have to see. Okay, it's totally dead. I probably should have charged my filming lights before sitting down to film, but I was too excited. Anyways, let's get back to it. Hopefully the lighting is not too bad. Hopefully it's not too bad. We were talking about Wolf Song. This is an paranormal romance. It says, when I dreamed of him. It's like friends to lovers, like young, and then like they end up being like mates or something. I'm just so ready. I just know it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Now this one I have been putting off for so long because I always felt like I had to read a previous trilogy to read this. But at this point I give up on it. Like I don't know. You tell me, do I have to read the Shadow and Bone trilogy to read Six of Crows? Tell me, please. Because if I have to, I will. But if I don't have to, then I can read this, because I feel like that has been the main reason that I have been reading this like off. Like I haven't read this because I've always felt like I had to read the other ones. So let me know, because this is on my fall TBR. Then this one is a random one, but this is Dracula, My Love by Siri James. The Secret Journals of Mina Harker. This one I found at half price. Obviously I haven't even taken the sticker off. I read the back of this and it just sounded so interesting to me. It's like a Dracula spin-off, and I will read the back for you guys so you guys can see what it's about. And I looked it up on Goodreads and like the ratings weren't that good, but they also weren't that bad. And I was like, you know what? I kind of want to know for myself. And it's giving September, November, fall vibes. Okay, so here it goes. Who is this magnetic, fascinating man, and how could one woman fall so completely under his spell? And it's twisty, okay? It's like messy. It says that Mina Harker is torn between two men. Struggling to hang on to the deep, pure love she's found within her marriage to her husband, Jonathan, she is inexorably drawn into a secret, passionate affair with a charismatic but dangerous lover. This haunted and hunting creature has awakened feelings and desires within her that she has never before known, which remake her as a woman. Although everyone she knows fears him and is pledged to destroy him, Mina sees a side to him that the others cannot. A tender, romantic side, a man who's taken full advantage of his gift of immortality to expand his mind and talents. A man who is deeply in love and who may not be evil after all. Yet to surrender is surely madness. For her to be with him could end her life. It may cost Mina all she holds dear, but to make her choice, she must learn everything she can about the remarkable origins and sensuous powers of this man, this exquisite monster, this Dracula. You do with that what you will. But me, hooked. We are on to our last 3 books on my fall TBR. This is The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is a dark academia book. This is the 3rd Olivia Blake book on my fall TBR. I know. She's in my October TBR as well, but we'll get to that sometime in October. This is The Alexandrian Society. Again, dark academia, multiple characters. There's art in her books. I found this OG copy at my half price and no regrets. Like just the art, and I've heard nothing but amazing things. And this is what a trilogy. It says, caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity are the foremost secret society of magical academicians. Bro, I can't speak. English is not my first language, okay? Those who earn a place among the Alexandrians will secure a life of wealth, power, and prestige beyond their wildest dreams. In each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to be considered for initiation. Okay, this one is on my fall TBR because it's a sapphic dark academia dark romance. Okay, I have already read this, but it could be reread because I loved it so much. This was a 5-star read for me. I kind of want to read this physically because I read this on my ebook, and I do want to annotate my copies. So this is more of a reread. This is like at the bottom of the list. Most of my rereads are, but if I do need a little pick-me-up between all of these books, then this one will definitely be read. Okay, last but not least, this book is getting read this year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, I own 4 or 3 copies of this book. Let me see. 3 copies of this book. Okay, this will be read. I don't care what has to happen. I don't know if I have to do like a 24-hour reading vlog or something, but this book is gonna be read because it needs to be read. Okay, because I have put this on my TBR for years and it has yet to be read. If you guessed it, then you're a real one. This is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Okay, period. I honestly, there's nothing more I can say about that. It just needs to be read. But those are all of the books on my fall TBR. I know there is a lot of them, but it's gonna be spread out in literally like 3 months, 4 months. So I definitely want to get to all of these and cut down on my physical TBR and just read the books that I own, you know? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was long and rambly, but I just enjoyed filming and talking to you guys. If you made it to the end of the video and you would like to let me know, then leave me the falling leaf leaves emoji down below in the comments. Let me know what you're currently reading, all of that. Catch me up. How are you guys? Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Also, this was my sweater. They're like cowboy ghost. You couldn't really see it in the video, so I had to show you guys. That's my crew neck. I will be living. I mean, I have been living in it for the month of September, but she will be worn in October and November. Anyways, bye guys.